Yes, Mr. Kincaid, you wanted to see me, sir? Yes. Um, well, I'm sorry, sir. Yes, I am a bit hungover. It was a rough night. Um, I'll be honest. Yeah, it was a rough night. Well, the boys and I, we had a few drinks at the saloon. I guess maybe I had a bit more than I should have. I apologize, Mr. Kincaid. Um, don't worry. Um, I can definitely do my job. I'll take care of it. Whatever needs taken care of. Um, yes, Mr. Kincaid. Um, I know you gave me this job, and I really do appreciate it. I know you gave it to me as a favor to my wife, because my wife and your wife um, grew up together when they were little girls. I really do appreciate it, Mr. Kincaid. Yes, well, like I said, there was a lot of hooping and hollering last night, and I guess I did most of it. That's why I'm speaking so softly. I hope that's all right, Mr. Kincaid. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, I see. Yes. Um, well, Mr. Kincaid, it's very difficult for a man to admit that he's a failure in life. I mean, I did have that homestead. Yes. Yes, Mr. Kincaid, I did have that homestead, but I lost it. Well, the truth is, most of the Indians who would stop by were Tonk. Yes, the Tonk tribe. Yes. Um, all of the settlers in the area knew that the Tonk are friendly Indians. When they stop by, they identify themselves as Tonk, and it just means that when they stop by at your homestead, they're looking for a free meal. Nothing too excessive. There usually isn't a lot of them, frequently traveling in small groups, that sort of thing, Mr. Kincaid. And when they arrive, like I said, they're just looking for a quick meal. The problem is, it's hard to tell the difference between a Tonk and an Apache. Sometimes the Apaches, they don't wear their war paint. They stop by, they ask for a meal, you let them in, and well, I mean, everyone heard what happened to the Baker family and the Hemmings family. Yeah, but when a group of Indians stops by Mr. Kincaid and they say that they're Tonk, it's best to feed them, because they also carry news, gossip. So it's best to be on the good side of those friendly Indians who don't want to make war with the white man. Yes, sir, Mr. Kincaid. Yes, sir. Well, as I said, I lost my homestead. I had to sell it for significantly less money than it was worth. The Tonk were not the problem. The problem were random Indians showing up late at night, stealing our horses, or maybe it was Mexican bandits. And, we did have that one pig, Mr. Kincaid. I mean, I know you're from back east, so you don't realize what that means. Out here, well, out here and where my homestead used to be, one pig, you steal that from a struggling homestead like most of them are, and you're basically stealing, I guess you would call it, a very valuable asset. I believe that's the right word, Mr. Kincaid. Oh, it is, yes, yes. I mean, stealing one pig from a neighbor, you might as well steal a train full of gold bars from that neighbor. You might as well steal almost everything they have. That pig is so valuable. And with respect, Mr. Kincaid, a lot of people back east, they just don't understand that. No, they don't, sir. No. But as I was saying, it's very difficult for a man to admit that he's failed his family, and I've failed mine. Now, thankfully, my two sons are intelligent. They're more intelligent than I am, Mr. Kincaid, and, well, my daughters aren't the most intelligent or the prettiest, but they both know how to cook, they know how to clean, and they're willing to work hard. Someday, each of them will get married, hopefully to a good man who can appreciate them and provide a better life for them than I was able to do. I really didn't want to sell my homestead, but after so many raids, I had to. It was either that or lose absolutely everything. And in maybe 6 months, sell it for even less than what I got for it, significantly less. I took that money and I relocated my family out here. I made sure that both of my sons went to work, and that takes care of them, so now I just have to take care of my wife and my two daughters. It's not easy, Mr. Kincaid. No, sir, it's not easy at all. But I'm still a little confused, Mr. Kincaid. What was it that you wanted to talk to me about? I mean, it couldn't have been why I sold my homestead. Oh, I see. You wanted to talk to me about those cattle rustlers. Well, I really don't know anything about that, Mr. Kincaid. Oh, you'd like to see my knife? Okay, all right. Not quite sure why you'd like to see it, but all right, Mr. Kincaid. There it is. Um, well, uh, no, Mr. Kincaid, this is not the knife that I've been using as one of your ranch hands for the last 2 months. No, the truth is I ended up having to buy a new knife from the general store because I lost my old one somewhere. Um, yes, yes, Mr. Kincaid, I lost my old one and I had to buy a new one. I mean, it works pretty well. Yes, sir, Mr. Kincaid. Um, all right, I'll put it away. As I said, Mr. Kincaid, I'm still a bit confused. Uh-huh. 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 Oh, I see. Yes. So one of the Pinkerton men noticed that one of the cattle rustlers was wearing white leather cowhide gloves. Yes. Well, Mr. Kincaid, I use white leather cowhide gloves because well, I needed gloves, and these are actually cheaper than the regular leather gloves sold at the general stores. Yes, Mr. Kincaid. Well, I mean, as you can see, they do get dirty easily, but I'm I'm sure white leather gloves for ranch hands is very common out here. Oh, it's not. I see. Really? Well, I am rather surprised at that, Mr. Kincaid. So the Pinkerton detectives looked. I see. So they looked into how common these gloves are, and they found only one shop that sells them. And that's the general store. I see. Yes. And they haven't sold the gloves in how many years? Well, I'm surprised at that, Mr. Kincaid. I mean, I know my wife does a very good job of keeping these gloves clean. I mean, they look practically brand new. I didn't realize that they were sold at only one particular place. I didn't realize that they only sold 6 pairs and that they haven't sold white leather cowhide gloves in years. Oh, the Pinkerton detective was able to somehow track down all the people who bought them. I see. One of them moved far away to Mexico. One of them is deceased, and his wife has no clue where his gloves are. Two of them are elderly ranch hands, and they're physically unable to work. I see. And one of them is a very young ranch hand who currently resides in San Francisco. I guess that leaves just me. Well, I guess it was I can't believe that it was these very comfortable white leather gloves that gave me away. Oh, it wasn't just that. One of the Pinkerton security men found my knife during the last raid. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Kincaid. That's why I had to buy a new knife. Apparently, I should have bought new gloves. Why? If it wasn't for all those raids, if it wasn't for all those thefts, I could have made my homestead a success. If people just respected property, if they had just left us alone, Mr. Kincaid, I know I could have made my homestead a success. But they kept stealing our horses, and one of our neighbors stole that prized pig. My family really needed that pig. Imagine if someone tried to steal half the gold that you have, Mr. Kincaid. How would you react? This world is an evil place, Mr. Kincaid. You made your fortune through honest methods. A lot of men in your position did not. I just got sick and tired of being a failure, Mr. Kincaid. You've always been successful in life, everything you've tried. You don't know what it's like to be a man and to fail your family. To have your wife look at you like you're filth. To have your children look at you and they know you're a failure. Even my youngest daughter, even my youngest one, I see the way she looks at me, the way she averts her eyes. So I got together with a small group of men and I started rustling cattle. Why hide it? You have all the evidence. Mr. Kincaid, I'd appreciate it if you would let me say goodbye to my wife and kids before I get hauled off to jail. Thank you, Mr. Kincaid. You've always been a good man. I appreciate that. I am sorry I let you down.